A Priest Divine. Welcome to the 12 Tribes Temple of Self-Improvement. And I hope everyone's doing well. Give me a second, because I want to make sure that if anybody, hold on, just let me get this straight out there. Okay. All right. And just let me know if you can hear me clear, because Haps be tripping sometime. So all right, I'm back. Okay, so I hope everyone's doing well. Sending some positive energy out there to everyone. You know, it's Wednesday. The week been moving pretty fast. So as you notice, there's been some changes. Let's get right into it. Cause you're like, what? What happened to the metaphysical temple of self-improvement? Same concept, same thing. But I want to talk about this since this goes into tonight's show about self-improvement. And I decided to rebrand and rename the show to 12 Tribes Temple of Self-Improvement because I believe as humanity and as a people, we are a tribe. And if you have been paying attention to anything that's been going on in the world in the last 2 years, if you're still alive, you have noticed that there are many factors that affect us as human beings and as humanity. COVID, politics, it affects us no matter what your race is, no matter what your religious background is, it affects us as a people. So we are a tribe. We are a tribe of humanity. We're a tribe of people, and we are scattered across this wilderness here on earth, and we are a tribe. And I want to bring everybody together, and then it's bigger than the name. Hold up. Send a more positive energy out there to everyone. It's bigger than the name. My mission for 12 Tribes Temple of Self-Improvement is to establish, starting here in South Carolina first, is to establish a healthy community. And what I mean by a healthy community, let me break down the elements of a healthy community. A, where I have people around me, we all thinking and moving on the same page, living in the same environment. B, we go to the credit union banks that's nearby and tell them, we're doing business with you. We want lower interest rate and we want access to loans to start our own business within this new community that we're developing as a people. C, create commerce, such as small grocery stores, fruit stands, our own businesses within the community. Because a community got to have business. See, a community don't consist of people just living together and there's no financial anything moving through. We got to have schools. I'll just tell you my plan with the whole 12 tribe thing, to have our own schools, doing business with a local bank within our community, within a vicinity, a credit union preferably, growing crop, have a community garden. And we have to get back to these fundamental basics, spiritual family, because if you pay attention to everything that's going on in the world, you'll notice like the world is falling apart. You can't put your trust in the political parties. You got to put your trust in the supreme being, God. You got to put your trust in your family, your community, and your loved ones. You have to start to develop skills that's going to better you and better your family and prepare y'all for the next phase that we're coming into reality. You have to also start with yourself, self-improvement, healing your mind, healing your spirit, healing your body. So the 12 Tribes Temple of Self-Improvement, like once again, it's about establishing a healthy community with like-minded individuals. And you said, well, how are we going to do that? For example, you could take an apartment complex where you live at, start getting with people, maybe have 20 people, 15 people. You can start off 15, 20, even smaller than that. We're going to move into this apartment complex. Or if y'all live in an apartment complex, just start building together. Now you have like-minded people in an apartment complex. You don't have shady behavior going on. Everybody knows everyone. Everybody knows everybody's kids. Everybody's looked after. That makes it easier to build and grow a community garden. Because you have to start growing your own crops. Inflation has our foods through the roof. You look at turkey meat, it's through the roof. You can't find certain foods. You go in Walmart, it's hard as hell to find turkey wings or chicken wings. If you eat meat, it's hard to find that. A lot of Walmarts don't even carry it. But a community garden, a community field, we can start growing our own crop, our own foods, teaching our kids to eat healthy, growing green peppers, red peppers. You say, well, I live in an urban area. Easy fix. We're going to have a show coming back up, part 2, on how to grow crop in an urban environment. Oh, I just want to make sure that this is being posted in the group. I know y'all see me on here, but technically I really don't like Facebook like that. So let's see here. Let's see, is it? Okay, I'm gonna post it in the group here. Because if you watch it, please help me post in the group so I can do the show. Thank you. And we still doing a thing in Hoodoo Lounge Production. Make sure y'all join that about alternative spirituality, African spirituality, paranormal investigation, parapsychology. Make sure you guys go ahead and join that. We're up to how many members now? Almost 7,000 members and still growing. So make sure you guys step on in and let's see here. Give me one quick second. Hang up. So yeah, it's about self-improvement. We have to start bettering ourselves as a people, as humanity, because the route we're going on, spiritual family, we're going to self-destruct. We have to start thinking better. Stop believing the hype with all these politicians. They lie. It's crazy. I watch people. Yeah, we got Trump out of office, but I watch people get all excited thinking Kamala and Biden was some great hope, and now they got Biden's remorse. You got to stop putting your trust. Rule number 1 for self-improvement: stop putting your trust and faith in external people. Start building up your self-esteem, your mind. Right now, a lot of us our brains is so cluttered. We got so much going on. And if you're working, and if you out here working a job, you know right now you're overworked. True or false? Let me know in the comments if you're working. Or you're not overworked. Don't your job have you doing 3 or 4 jobs at the same time? My sister texted me today and she's like, I'm doing 3 social workers jobs and a nursing job, but they pay her for one person's salary. This will eventually bring you to the phase of your life which is called burnout. And once you hit burnout, you start eating poorly. If you're already not eating poorly, you'll become angry, vicious towards people. So you snap it on your kids. You might be tossing and turning at night. But we're going to talk about self-improvement. We're going to talk about some of the things. If you toss it and turn at night, let me tell you something. Stop putting pressure on yourself in the daytime. You're only one person. You can only do so much. And I'm speaking to the choir right now because when I started the Hoodoo Lounge production group, I was posting 30, 40, 50 something posts a day. Just me. Posted. I wake up, I'm posting. 2 in the morning, posting. And I start realizing, how is that helping anyone? How is it helping myself? It's better to post quality content than to post 1,000 posts. And not only that, there's 7,000 members in the group. They could post. Let them contribute to the group and post and share some activities that they're doing. I say that because you will burn out. And once you burn out, you become disgusted with something that you once enjoyed. And after that, hold on a second here. And after that, you don't want to do it anymore. You could only do so much in one day, spiritual family. You could only do so much in one day. You have to start eating healthier. We're coming into the fall right now. There's a change of season. We're going to be coming up on flu season, spiritual family. So what that means, you need to start, if you especially live in a northern area, you should be incorporating more soup into your eating regimen right now. More soup. Right now, I would steer away from a lot of red meats. There's all these recalls. and people can't afford to buy steak, so the steak is staying in the on the shelves longer. That's bad meat. But you want to increase your anxiety and stress, start eating fast food. All that junk food and fast food that you eat gets in your stomach. It has energy and spirit in it. And the next thing you know, most of your stress starts right in your stomach and it moves up to your chest and your heart. The stress and the anxiety. Then you got that tightness in your heart. Eat clean, eat healthy, add more water. You see here? I'm constantly drinking water. These are easy methods to getting healthy and getting better. Easy methods. It's for free. If you live next to a Planet Fitness, $1, $10 a month, run on the treadmill, do lightweight. You don't have to look super buff and swole and all that. It's about fitness and taking care of your health, your spiritual self. Every morning, I don't wake up and look at social media, and I'm going to tell you why. I have a female friend, and speaking of the devil, I have a female friend, and she has a government job that's very stressful. She's in front of a computer monitoring a bunch of people. And I told her, she said, I want to learn how to meditate. I said, that's cool. So I started showing her how to meditate. But I said, first rule, when you wake up in the morning time, get yourself together. Don't just jump straight out of bed. If you want to put that soon alarm clock, you jump straight out of bed, that's bad. That's toxic. Your body been laying down all night. Your blood been flowing in a certain direction all night. So when you wake up and you jump straight up, you wonder why you feel like you about to fall down. You might feel dizzy. You're putting your body into a physical shock. A physical shock, because it's like going outside and turning your car on and not letting it sit for a few seconds to get the oil running through the engine, and you just ramming it in gear and backing up. That's bad on the motor. Your body is the same exact way. Give it a chance, a minute or two, to get itself balanced, get the blood flowing through the body, through your joints and everything. Everything's circulating. Your eyes acclimate to the light in the room. Go handle your business in the bathroom, however, whatever you do, when you do it. Don't look at social media when you get out of bed. Don't look at social. I know some of you guys roll. The first thing you do, you look at Instagram. And like I told a young lady, I said, don't look at that Instagram, because I said what you're doing is you're already stressed out during the day. Now you're looking at seeing what your friends posting, what celebrities posting, and if something crazy going on, you just absorbed all of that energy of what somebody else is doing, and now you done got that energy attached to your spiritual self, and you wondering why you dealing with anxiety, stress, anger, whatever. You got to look, leave the social media alone. Use the bathroom, drink your tea. I drink my tea, sometimes coffee. After that, spiritual family, I go wherever I go in my place and I meditate. Well, I don't know how to meditate. Look, start small. All you need is 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. Anybody tell you, I meditate for 15 minutes. That's not a consistent meditator. They're eventually going to quit. All you need is 2 to 3 minutes. Get your mind balanced on what your manifestation is, what your desires are. Focus. Focus. And if your mind drifts, that's normal. Pull it right back. Pull it right back. And we're going to do a meditation class later on coming up, so I can show you how to structure your mind and how to bring it back where it's focused and it's not all over the place. And it's funny because 50 Cent was just on a talk show the other day, Monday, I think it was. And he talks about sometimes he has difficulty sleeping at night. He should. He has all this power, the TV show Power, all this other stuff going on, BMF. And he said, I meditate. And he's a health junkie. And he said, I'm not that good at it. My mind be all across the room and this and that. And he's the same way. He has to focus on getting his mind back balanced, centered, so he could have his mind relaxed and not all over the place thinking about all these other different issues going on. But that's normal, because as human beings, that's what we do. We think. We respond and we think. Before I get out of bed, I like to give a prayer. I give a good old prayer to God. Thank you for what you've done for me, what you're about to do for me. Always give thanks for what he's done for me and what he's about to do. And what that does is it put your prayers in forward motion. You calling on the Almighty now, and you putting your prayers in further motion and forward motion. Versus when you beg it, you kind of stuck when you beg it in prayer. But if you give thanks for what he's about to do and what he has done, now you pulling the blessings towards you. You're pulling them in. You pulling them in, spiritual family. There's a difference. There's a difference. I'm going to teach you how to do forward thinking, not backwards thinking. Backward thinking will have you broke, bitter, and sad. You wonder why you can't manifest and get things done. You wonder why things not happening. I was telling a young lady the other day, I'm always manifesting. And I said, yeah, this nurse called me and think about me working for her private practice as a counselor. And we'll go over some of our credentials and stuff. And she's like, wow, I really got to get you in. She's like, I'm going to get back to you one day soon. And I hung the phone. I said, you'll be hearing from me sooner than you think. I'm on the phone with my friend telling her the same story like I'm telling y'all. So I hang up the phone 3 minutes later in that evening. That nurse called me back. Can you come in tomorrow? I want you to meet the psychiatrist and so y'all could talk about creating some programs within the building. Manifestation. Forward thinking. See, it's not about these candle works and all that. That's cool. But you got to become empowered with yourself. You have to become empowered. No more, I'm in hermit mode. I don't want to hear nobody telling me that nonsense. That's a cop-out for you not to deal with the issues that you're going through. It's a cop-out. It's time for us to start dealing with the reality of the world which we exist in. Have you ever met someone that's so spiritual that they can't function in modern day world? They can't keep a job. They can't keep a relationship. If you look at their Facebook page, they always groping and whining about something. I kicked a few people out the group for that. I just got tired every time they posted something negative. That is one cat, I don't know what he's doing with a phone, but he was locked up in prison for crazy charges similar to R. Kelly. And I think him and another girl was like kind of fooling around with each other a little bit. Because he was always in her chat box kissing butt. That's another story. But then one day I caught him just cursing at people on Facebook, just random cursing. I'm like, brother, you locked up in jail and you randomly cursing at people. I mean, saying a horrible thing. I got rid of that. I just blocked him and said, I don't need your energy, man. There's nothing you offer in society anyway. You locked down. If I see people posting craziness, I delete them. I don't need to see that. It's challenging enough for you to deal with your own energy and to stay balanced and to stay positive. But you have to start dealing with the reality of the world you live in. You have to look in the mirror and see yourself for who you are and where you at, and that will help you determine where you need to go. But being so spiritually delusional, that's unhealthy. And there's something called spiritual bouginess, because we all been seeing people that so spiritual and they so bougie, they know everything, like these magically fourth generation root doctors. I never heard of that. You legacy root guy, I never heard of that. Like, where was you at 10 years ago? All I'm just saying is deal with the reality. You have financial problems, deal with the reality. Don't try to put a front on for someone, because you never look fresh and clean being broke or with your lights turned off or your car insurance canceled. You streaming TV, you need to stop streaming all them shows and lower your put that stuff on pause, the payments on pause. Deal with the reality of the world you live in. How many pairs of shoes do you need? You have 2 feet. I have my standard shoes, work shoes, dress shoes, a couple of pairs of sneakers, just a couple that I barely wear, rain boots. That's it. My coats are for the season. Besides my dress blazers for work. It's for the season. You see people, every time they get paid, they have to go buy a pair of shoes, pair of spandex, a jacket. It does not matter how much money you pay those individuals salary-wise, they always going to be broke because they constantly spending. They can't, there's not a pay period where they didn't buy any clothes. They're delusional. Deal with the reality you living in. COVID exists. It's real. I don't care what your political view. This is not about politics. We're talking about health. It's real. And if your child go out there and you got them in sports or any other type of activity when they're around other kids and they get exposed to another child with COVID, guess what? Your child will be coming home and quarantining with you, and you're going to have to watch them. Why? Because you refuse to deal with the reality that there's a pandemic going on. It's called denial. And that's why you're making decisions that show you are in denial. Not dealing with the reality of the world you live in is a very dangerous thing to do. It stops you from growing. It puts you in a position where you make toxic and horrible decisions. There's beauty in the world, there's ugly in the world, but no matter what, there's a reality to the world. And you have to decide which one you're going to live in. And remember, the decisions you make just don't impact you, it impacts your loved ones and the fellow human beings around you. Like I said, we're about humanity now, moving humanity forward, not backwards. What you do affect me, what I do affect you, believe it or not, on some degree. No rock goes unturned in this world, spiritual family. No rock goes unturned. Sending some positive energy out there to you guys. So, yes, we're moving on a brand new mission. We have a brand new goal and direction that we're moving in with the 12 Tribes Temple of Self-Improvement, or you call it 12 Tribes Temple. We're moving. We're going to be talking about a lot of things. For instance, science of black hair. We have some very exciting conversations coming up. It's time to start nation building. It's time to put this spirituality into practice and into action. No longer can we just keep posting cute little pictures in the Facebook groups and it looks cute and colorful and there's a man with light coming out of his head. No. It's time for you to be active, proactive, and elevating yourself to the next level. I win, you win. You win, I win. It's time to start building communities out here, giving our children something to embrace for the next generation, or they will perish. They will perish because they'll get pushed by the wayside, by this capitalistic country that we live in. They'll get pushed culturally by the wayside, by everybody and their mama coming in and taking over and still telling your child that their hairstyles and everything else is bad about them, but yet 2 years later, everybody's wearing our hairstyles. So no, spiritual family, we got to start being proactive, coming into our true divine selves that God wants for us to be. That God wants for us to be. You have a true divine purpose here on earth. A true divine purpose. Now you got to figure it out what it is, but you have a purpose. You're not put here to just coast by, to work this BS job. What good is it to know all this spiritual work, all this metaphysics, and we're not putting it into action where we are being proactive about bettering our lives and becoming the best versions of ourselves? This is grown folks talk, people that want to win. We're not talking about crappy love spells and all that gimmick stuff. We're talking about grown folk issues, humanity. Humanity. I walk outside, I live in a community. You walk outside, you live in a community. It's nation building. And I welcome all of you into the 12 tribes. And if you're willing to build a nation with me, let me know in the chat. It's about nation building. And my goal is I want to start having chapters in different states and cities. And then maybe once a year we could do a conference. Yeah, I want to have chapter. I want to have chapters, maybe a Charlotte chapter. You got the Columbia chapter, the Charleston chapter, Atlanta chapter, New York, where we're at in chapter. And we are a people with a culture and customs. There's customs to the 12 tribes. There's customs. There's customs how we eat. There's customs in how we raise our kids, how we grow our crop. There's customs. You have walked into a culture and a people with customs. Our customs and culture is divine, and it's about self improvement and becoming the best version of ourselves. Make sure you share this show with your friends and family. We have more shows coming. Join the Hoodoo Lounge production group on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. We have a lot more exciting things coming. Matter of fact, there's probably gonna be a 12 Tribe magazine coming soon about eating healthy, meditating, all the great things, spiritual family, that help you on your journey. Now, let me tell you something. I can't stress this. If you want to grow in life and become better in life, you have to start reading, spiritual family. You guys have allowed social media to make you dumb, where you only read bold prints and you just want a picture up there. I'm sorry, I'm a grown man that's educated. I'm 42 years old. And I'm about bettering my community and strengthening my community. You're gonna have to start reading some articles, some journals. If somebody hand you something on meditate, you should read that. Somebody hand you something about eating healthy, you should read that. Don't look for a cute little bold print and say, "Oh, I know what that's about." No, the information is in the article. You have to read the whole article. Start reading. Improve your mind. This is the year, and going forward, I'm challenging people to stimulate their mind, educate themselves, become better people, and I want to see where you at by March or February. Why should somebody invest in our people and community if we don't invest in our own intellect because we won't read an article? Time for nation building. It's time for self improvement. It's time to tap into our true divine godly selves and become a better people. I'm your host, Priest Divine, Dedrick Hilton. This here is 12 Tribes Temple of Self Improvement, and I'll see you guys soon. Stay blessed. Before I go, I'm going to say a prayer for everybody before they go. And everybody, you can bow your head, close your eyes, do what you want. But I call on God right now to bless those that are watching this show, help heal them, touch their hearts, body, mind, and spirit, and let them know that they are not alone in this journey that we call life. Touch their hearts. May they start loving and being kind towards one another and realize that we are all part of the great 12 tribe, which is part of humanity. In the name of the Father, Spirit. Amen.